As you can probably tell, I am in my dorm room. I do want to start off by saying I apologize for any noises that you may hear. I live between the stairwell and the bathroom in a very old building on my campus, so any kind of noise that anyone makes coming in or out, I'll get sucked kind of into my room. So if there's any background noise, I apologize in advance for that. Also, there might be some creaking, and my fridge is right there, so that might also make some noise. I'm really sorry if anything makes noise. Just letting all of you know. But I am back from spring break, and I thought it would be the perfect time to show you my shelves here at school and what I'm going to be reading for the rest of the semester, as well as what I am reading for the Shakespeare class I am currently taking. I do live alone, so I'm lucky enough to have the space to have a shelf. It's only a 6-cube unit, and I'm using about 1.5 cubes right now. The bottom 3 are just storage. So I'm going to start with the syllabus list for my Shakespeare class. I do use a specific edition. My professor does prefer that we use the Signet Classics editions of the plays, so those are the ones that I'll be showing you. I have to read 7 plays this semester. We have currently finished studying 3, and we're in the middle of studying the 4th, so I'm just going to give you a quick run through of what those are. I'm not going to be going into like detail or like reviewing them or anything. I'm just going to be telling you what they are. So first we started off with As You Like It, and then we moved on to The Merchant of Venice. Next was Measure for Measure. We finished this right before spring break, so we read this and then we had an exam and then it was spring break. So it was a nice wrap up to like the first half of the semester. And then when we got back from spring break, we had to start Richard II. This is my most recent read. I finished it last night. Richard II is the only history play that is on our syllabus, and we are wrapping up with this play tomorrow. And once we finish Richard II, we are moving on to Antony and Cleopatra. This is the first tragedy we're reading. Up next is King Lear. I have been wanting to read King Lear for a while, and so I'm really excited that this class gave me the opportunity to do that. Yeah, I'm just so stoked about this one. And then lastly, we are wrapping up the semester with The Winter's Tale. I don't know much about this one, so I'm kind of excited to not really know what I'm getting into. So I just took all of my books off of my shelf so I can show you all what I have with me. I'm going to start with my current reads. I'm only currently reading 3 books, but they are taking a while to get through, just with classes and everything right now. First up, I have this. The dust jacket is currently over there because I put it in my backpack and I didn't want it to get messed up. But this is the Crimson Skew by S.E. Grove. This is the 3rd and final book in the Mapmakers trilogy. I read the first 2 over the course of like the past few months, and I'm currently on this one. I'm only on page 96, so I'm only like here, so I still have a long way to go on this one, but we're working through it. Next up is Less by Andrew Sean Greer. This is a book that I bought because it was listed on the textbook website for the queer lit class that I took last spring, yeah. And then we got to class and my professor was like, oh, I updated the list. It must not have went through. So we all had books that like we weren't actually reading for the class, and this was one of them. So I'm finally getting around to doing it because I bought it, so it just sounded interesting. So I'm finally reading it. I'm really enjoying it. And hopefully I'll finish this up soon. I'm about the same percentage through this book that I am through The Crimson Skew. So hopefully I will get this done in a little bit. My final current read is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I'm reading this because last year I did like the 12 friends choose 12 books for you to read thing, like challenge or whatever. I just did it for myself just to kind of try and slim down my physical TBR. So I sent all of my friends pictures of my shelves and had them like choose one book off of it each. And my one friend chose Anna Karenina, and she chose it for May, which is when finals are. And so I didn't even read it until like the very, very end of May. I picked it up at the end of May 2022. I literally read until like page 8. I got basically nowhere. And so I'm technically currently reading this one, but I'm just gonna restart it sometime soon and then just go through it. Now we get into books that I just brought with me. Some of these are for video ideas, some of these aren't, so I'm just gonna start with the ones that you may see in upcoming videos. The next 3 books I am including as a set. That is the crossover series by Kwame Alexander. I read the crossover when I was in like 8th grade, and then I think I read these 2 when I was in high school. I brought these back with me because the crossover show is coming out on Disney Plus in April, I believe, and I wanted to reread it before I watched the show because it's been so long and I have like no recollection of what actually happened. And then these 2 I'm pretty sure are like not going to be talked about in the show. This one I think is about like a minor character if I remember correctly, but I might be completely wrong, I don't even know. And then this one's the prequel. So I think I'm gonna read Rebound and the crossover before the show. I'm not sure about Booked, but I brought it back in case I'm feeling it. So I have all 3 of those. I might read them as a series, I might not, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see with this one. But I brought them back to review and reread. I'm also bringing these next 2 books up as a set. This is All My Sons by Arthur Miller and Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. I brought these back because my school is doing The Crucible this semester, and I was like, well, I've already read The Crucible, so might as well read the other 2 of his plays that I haven't read yet. I do know what happens in All My Sons. My high school did it when I was there, so I kind of like know the plot, but I don't know much about Death of a Salesman. I'm really excited to like get into it. So yeah, those are those 2 plays. Next, I have miscellaneous books. These are books that I just brought because I'm interested in reading them and want to get to them at some point, besides one. And that one book is All the Light We Cannot See by Antony Doerr. This is probably my favorite book ever. I read it in high school, and then I actually had to reread it my freshman year as a textbook because I was taking a class on peace and conflict studies. So this was one of the textbooks, so reading it through that lens was also really interesting. But I brought it back with me because the Netflix show is in progress right now. It's in the works. I know that they finished filming it and like they wrapped, but I don't know anything else. If anyone knows anything else about the show besides the fact that they wrapped, like if anyone knows any dates or anything, because I feel like I've missed something because there's just nothing, there's just no news. But I really want to reread it whenever like things happen or things are starting to happen, but I'm really nervous that it's gonna be a quick turnaround, so I brought it back with me in case the trailer drops and they're like, it's out in May, and I'm like, oh my god. So I brought this back with me in case that happens. I don't want to like miss out on like being able to reread it. So that is All the Light We Cannot See. So we had a little bit of a blip. There was a bug in my room and the angle might be different now. I normally don't have flying insects in my room, but I did while I was filming apparently, so I'm sorry if it's in any other clips. I think I'm going to start with my little nonfiction stack that I have here. So first up I have Why Fish Don't Exist by Lulu Miller. This is a book that I bought because of my internship last summer, and I think it's just really interesting. I really like micro kind of history stuff, and I feel like this is kind of in that category. It's about fish and like I think taxonomy, so yeah, I'm really intrigued by this, so I'm hoping to get to it. It's also fairly short, so yeah, this is one that's on my list for this semester. The next book is Note to Self by Connor Franta. I brought this back because I was like, I think it's gonna be a quick read because it's like poetry and photos and things. I think I might read this on audio, but also like in this edition so I can like still see all the pictures and stuff, because I'm not sure how those are like put into audiobooks. Like I'm not sure how that goes, but yeah, I think I might pick this up on audio. Lastly, I have Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is a book that I'm definitely picking up on audio, I think. I know that I can get it through Libby, so I'm gonna put a hold on that whenever I feel compelled to read this. I do want to read this, but I want to read it on audio, I think. So I have that. Hopefully this will also go quick. I'm not really sure, but hopefully I feel like this might go quick. Those were the nonfiction books. Now I'm going to move into the YA books that I brought. I didn't really bring many. I only brought 2. So the first YA book that I have is Cinderella is Dead by Kwame. I'm really excited to get around to this whenever that happens. I kind of brought this because I am a mood reader and I just wanted to make sure that I had like a YA fantasy if I felt compelled to read a YA fantasy. So yeah, this is Cinderella is Dead. And next I have Midnight at the Electric by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I'm pretty sure this is across like 3 time periods, so I'm really excited to read this one. My best friend read it and she really likes it, so I'm hoping that I will also love it because we usually have pretty similar tastes, so hoping that I can get around to this semester. We are into the final 4. These are 4 middle grade books that I brought with me. So the first book in this stack is The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keeley Snyder. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I think I am. I don't actually know much about this book, but my mom really likes it and she recommended it to me and I've had it for a while, so hopefully I'll get to it. The next book is One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia. I started this in middle school, I think. It's been so long. I think I picked it up in like 7th grade maybe, and I was like, I'm gonna read it. Did not do that. I think I maybe started it, like got to the first few pages, maybe to like the first chapter, but I was reading it while I was at Girl Scout camp and kept getting distracted and like never actually read it. So I'm really hoping that I can finally read this because it's been so long. This next book is another book that's been in my physical TBR for way too long. This is Penny from Heaven by Jennifer L. Holm. I literally feel like I've owned this about as long as I've owned One Crazy Summer. I just need to get it off of my physical TBR. I just need to read it. Finally, for this middle grade stack, I have The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. I don't really know what this is about. I think it's about a game or like a mystery or a puzzle of some sort. It sounds really intriguing though. I am a little nervous because I looked at it the other day and like the font is so small. We're gonna see how this one goes. Lastly, I'm gonna give you a little tour of what's up here on this top shelf. These are my tombos for journaling purposes. This is a stack of books, a working stack of books for my thesis. I will hopefully be making a like full video or a full like video series about my thesis, so I'm not going to talk about those in depth right now. And then over here, kind of behind me, I have my annotating pencil case. This just has like pens, pencils, tabs, the usual. And then this is my reading journal. It's just a plain Lectern 1917. So hopefully I'll do a video on this at some point. Also maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But I keep it up here along with my pencil case because they just fit really nicely in this little tray that I have. So those are my bookshelves here at school. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like or comment or subscribe if you feel compelled to. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!